Bellevue on 405 about 45 minutes, and then Puyallup to Renton on 167 about 45 minutes. That will be faster than I-5, which should take you about 55 minutes.
We finally broke that 2-week dry stretch of weather here in Seattle. The past 2 days, Leah and I almost had a collision there. So let's talk.
Days after a massive cyber attack, a class action lawsuit has now been filed against the education platform Canvas. The lawsuit, filed in San Diego federal court, claims parent company Instructure failed to safeguard users' personal information, leaving the plaintiff at risk of identity theft and fraud. They're seeking damages and a court order proving strengthened security and the deletion of data. Instructure said it reached an agreement with a hacking group for an undisclosed ransom amount in return for the data and proof that all copies had been destroyed.
Just a couple of days after the North Shore School Board voted to end the school resource officer position at Bothell High School, a senior there is taking action, launching a petition that now has thousands of signatures to try to get the board to reverse the decision. Here's what he said.
It's really a first line of defense in an emergency, and he's just always there to open the door for you. Like a lot of people who don't have a lot of friends, they talk to him, and he's just a great guy. You can always talk to him, human to human, and he's just really somebody to talk to and be your friend when you really need somebody. So they're supposed to be voting based on what the community wants, and obviously they're bringing in their own political and personal beliefs into the issue and voting based off of that. You walk around school, especially the last 2 days, everybody's talking about it. Everybody's kind of mad and saying what can we do? Let's go to the next board meeting. Everybody's kind of trying to find a solution to keep it.
Seattle is about to be one of the busiest cities in the country this summer. Officials expect 750,000 local and international fans in the region for the World Cup. They're warning you now, do not plan on driving to the stadium. Local leaders unveiled their transportation plans, more light rail service, extra buses and water taxis, free downtown shuttles, paused I-5 Ship Canal Bridge construction, and huge pedestrian-only zones around Pioneer Square. Leaders want 80% of fans to arrive without a car.
All right, I am working on easily my most favorite story of 2026, and it was a story about something that happened here at the state capitol back in 1985. You may remember Louie Louie Day. So Almost Live was this awesome comedy show on King 5. And that's the main host, Ross Schaefer. And they were looking for a gimmick to try to come up with a way to get people to watch their show. So they said, why don't we, I don't know, it's free. We can go to Olympia and try to get the state song turned into Louie Louie. Well, it turned into a huge deal. And we talked to some of the folks who were involved. And they say it was one of the bigger rallies that they had seen in Olympia. Here's then Governor Booth Gardner speaking at the official Louie Louie Day ceremonial rally that they had in front. Well, today we sat down with 4 people who were there back on April 12th, 1985. And for some of them, it was a life highlight, and it's going to be a great piece that we're working on here in the next couple of weeks.
Amazon just announced a brand new delivery service here in Seattle, and it could change the way you shop. It's called Amazon Now, and the goal is simple: get you everyday items even faster. We're talking groceries, household items, essentials, snacks, toiletries, all of it delivered in 30 minutes.
Over-the-counter medications for when folks aren't feeling well. We've got diapers for babies and pet treats for the dogs and the cats. So it really runs the gamut.
The company's able to do this because they've opened smaller fulfillment centers closer to where people live so they can get those items to them quicker. Amazon has rolled out this ultra-fast delivery service in a number of cities, including Seattle, and they're hoping to reach millions more customers by the end of the year. So let us know, would you use a service like this, or do you think ultra-fast delivery is getting a little out of control?
I talked to her on the phone before she left work. She was waiting for the bus. At her desk, and she called. All we know is that she did get home. She had asked us to come over the next night. We're going to celebrate my husband's birthday, and she was anxious to see us. And that was the last thing she said. She told us what time to come over.
We believe she actually got into her residence, set the keys down, grabbed the mail from the front door, set it down, went out to let the dog in, and somewhere in that time period, she disappeared.
We had search parties out there, and we hadn't even talked to the police yet. So it was frustrating. We had canvassed the neighborhood, talked to people that lived around there. And it was actually a nightmare.
Seattle police arrested a 15-year-old in South Seattle after he crashed a stolen car through a fence, then ran from the scene. Police found the car on 44th Avenue South last night around 7:30. The teen was still nearby and denied being in the car, but police say his cell phone was still paired to the car's Bluetooth settings. He was booked into juvenile detention.
What are you doing? Why would you throw a rock at it?
A Covington man captured on video throwing a rock at a monk seal swimming in Hawaii has been arrested by federal agents. The U.S. Attorney's Office says he's now charged with harassing a protected animal. That incident happened last Tuesday in Lahaina. Witnesses confronted him after he threw the rock and told him they'd contacted law enforcement. Prosecutors say he responded that he was, quote, rich enough to pay the fines, end quote. If convicted, he faces up to 1 year in prison for each charge and fines up to $70,000. He's scheduled to appear in federal court in Seattle tomorrow.
Seattle prices are surging.
Broccoli is the highest I've ever seen it.
Prices climbed nearly 5% over the last year, and while energy and gas prices do play a role in all of this, experts say some of the biggest hikes are coming from some unexpected categories.
I've seen price increases before, obviously, but this year they've been drastic.
Data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows the Seattle area is feeling it. Inflation here rose 4.9% over the last year. Eating out rose more than 7%, apparel nearly 15%, and recreational activities about 8%.
And most of these changes in these other categories have not taken place in the last 2 months. Gasoline prices will come down.
Data shows grocery prices in the Seattle area rose less than 1% over the last year.
With produce, that's a supply and demand.
But some individual items have seen massive swings.
Broccoli is the highest I've ever seen it, primarily due to weather.
For shoppers and store owners alike, it's not just the higher prices, it's how unpredictable they've become.
And while economists say eventually there could be relief at the pump once tensions in the Middle East calm down, other things, those prices, once they rise, he says that they tend to stay there. Reporting live in Seattle, Bridget Chavez, King 5 News.
The Seattle Sounders and Seattle Reign are contributing to the FIFA World Cup celebrations by unveiling a first-of-its-kind floating stage. It's a floating soccer pitch on top of a barge. This is what it'll look like. It's going to be anchored in Elliott Bay right along the waterfront park at Pier 62. Much of the same technology on display for the tournament's fan experiences will be on the barge, including a massive screen where World Cup matches will be broadcast live. No word yet on how much it'll cost. So this just popped in my feed yesterday. Wanted to share great video from WSDOT on the ongoing work along the North Cascades Highway following that rock slide at milepost 131. This is near Diablo Lake. This was on March 17th. How would you like this job? Crews were hoping to have it shored up and ready to open by Memorial Day, but now say they're targeting the 4th of July, and you can see why.
Another gray whale has washed ashore, this time on Whidbey Island. The Cascadia Research Collective says it was reported just this morning, and a viewer took this video of the whale floating in the water near North Sunset Beach. The Island County Sheriff's Office says NOAA's Marine Mammal Stranding Network will be evaluating the situation. If the whale is confirmed dead, it would become the 19th gray whale found dead in Washington this year, and that would break the annual state record.
I wish I had been able to kill him. My name is Jacqueline O'Brien. I'm the first known victim of Mitchell Gaff. I was in the same room when the defendant killed my mother. My sister was in her crib in the next room. Susie Macy was found bound on the floor. I was found.
Milton's police chief isn't shying away from the data, saying the system has generated more than $803,000 across 15,000 citations. Chief Tony Hernandez says the numbers are already telling an interesting story.
What we're seeing in the numbers is we're able to determine where these individuals live that are coming through. And so by the registration of the vehicle, we know that they are people from outside the city that are transiting through here that are receiving most of the infractions.
The city also making it clear, under state law, all revenue collected must go back into projects focused on improving driver and pedestrian safety.
They'll get you. If we saw some improvements in the city with that money, I don't think the residents would be quite as upset with it.
The smoke from this fire was visible for miles. Take a look at how high and dark it was, rising over downtown Tacoma. The first report of the fire came in just after 4:15. Firefighters say they started with a standard 1-alarm response, but quickly realized they needed more help and upgraded it to 2 alarms. The good news, according to Tacoma Fire, is the building was not severely damaged. Most of the fire was contained to a rooftop deck and a structure on top of the building. Crews were able to stop it from spreading inside. King 5 spoke with a man who says his friend lives in one of the apartments just above the theater.
When I saw the smoke coming up, I said, dude, your apartment's on fire. And he wasn't at home. And so he, quickly got off the phone and started calling around. And then when I came down here, he was down here and they wouldn't let him in. It's probably not affected, but smoke, Who knows how saturated the smoke got in that building.
Power and gas were shut off as crews stayed on scene for hours, making sure there were no hot spots left behind.
History was made at the Space Needle this weekend. Mandy Horvath successfully made it all the way up 98 flights of stairs inside the landmark, becoming the first amputee on record to complete that challenge. That climb also marked her 8th world record, by the way. So Horvath is the subject of the documentary The Ascent, which follows her journey to the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro while sharing the story of how she overcame the loss of both of her legs. It's a story she told NBC back in 2018 about her successful career as a chef, a few drinks with friends one night, blacking out, and some train tracks. She has since shown just incredible resilience, using the experience to challenge herself, saying that the climbing helps with her PTSD, and helping others is really what gets her through.
I'm Flash Shelton. In 2019, squatters took over my mom's home. The sheriff couldn't get him out, so I did.
He's an anti-squatter activist whose YouTube channel has 115,000 subscribers. Now Flash Shelton has his own TV show on A&E. And he's finding a lot of material here in the Pacific Northwest. Since 2019, squatting cases have surged in Washington.
Yeah, I've dealt with several cases in Seattle. This can happen to anyone and everyone, anywhere in the country and anywhere in the world, because squatters hide as normal, regular people. They don't look homeless. They have good jobs and they have nice cars. They could be your neighbor. Oh, I can do that.
There's a unique museum where you can find inspiration in every turn you do. I'm talking about the Chihuly Garden and Glass.
Every room has like a different experience. You feel like you're learning a little bit about the artist.
The whole place was actually designed by Dale Chihuly, so you get a sense not only for his work as a glass artist, but also his work in so many different mediums. Everything that you see, the flow of the galleries, the fact that nothing is behind barriers, were all his choices. We want to give you really a deep dive not only into Dale Chihuly, the artist, but also to glass blowing as a medium. We have highlight tours that can take you through the whole exhibition. We also offer glass blowing demonstrations with professional artists working every single day to teach our guests about the glass blowing process. If you want to go to a place that is truly awe-inspiring and makes you feel open and welcome to the seasons in a colorful space, this is the place to do it.
The Chihuly Garden and Glass is open all year round, Monday through Sunday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. I think I got that right. Yes, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Got it. I told you that. I told you that.
This is the family jewel for us and our family, and it means everything for us. Gut punch, man. You work so hard, and this a random expense that comes out takes away almost like a whole Monday's worth of profit, man. It hurts. It sucks. You lose a day in the month, man. Thank you.
The news comes down to two separate exposures, one to that cruise ship that is at the center of all of this, and another to a flight home from South Africa. One King County resident was on board that cruise ship. That person is one of 16 people in quarantine in Nebraska this morning. Two other local residents were exposed on a flight from South Africa, sitting just a few rows from a sick passenger linked to that same cruise. That passenger was taken off the plane, but only after being on board for about an hour. They later tested positive for the virus. Public health officials say they did not find out about that flight exposure until Sunday, more than 2 weeks after that flight.
Our team moved very quickly to contact these individuals. We were not able to make contact with them on Sunday, but were able to reach them yesterday morning so that we could begin a full investigation and gather more information from them.
Those two residents are back in King County, but right now they do not have symptoms. They are monitoring from home as a precaution, and there are no confirmed cases of hantavirus in King County. And again, health officials are saying that the risk to the general public is low. Most hantaviruses do not spread person to person, but this particular strain that is of concern, the Andes virus can, but only after close and prolonged exposure. In Seattle, I'm Christian Malderas, King 5 News.
This dog is safe and sound after being saved from a raging house fire. Body cam captured the moment Westminster, Colorado police officers rush into a burning home in search of the dog. According to the Westminster police, the owner and his other dog escaped, leaving the second dog trapped inside. The first responders quickly located the frightened animal, able to grab on and guide it through a smoke-filled doorway to safety outside, where it was reunited with its owner. No dogs or humans were hurt during the rescue.
This is, as I said, a generational agreement that strikes a balance between the needs of fish, the environment, flood protection, and our state's clean energy future.
We can continue to produce clean, carbon-free energy while also safeguarding cultural and natural resources.
This agreement is about the quality of life, improving the quality of life, not just for us, not just for our river, but for everybody, including Seattle, because we know that we're doing the right thing.
Mashed potatoes on a hot dog, Buffalo Wild Wing sauce, and bologna? What is happening?
Okay, it's all recipes from Faraday Sadigan's new hot dog cookbook. It's a cookbook, squishy, cute little cookbook, 50 hot dog recipes, all different sorts. If you have a hot dog lover in your life, I think this is the gift. I already have friends on Instagram saying, do you have extra copies of that? I have a hot dog friend.
Oh, yes.
So,
I'm a hot dog friend.
I know, you
I
love
love
a hot dog.
You're going to taste this one. This is part of the adventure series in the book. Tell me more.
I like this so much on the show. It is blue cheese dressing with buffalo sauce. I liked it so much, I want to eat it again. That's delicious.
What? Happy hot dogs!
Snohomish County deputies have arrested a driver for a suspected DUI crash after a fiery high-speed crash in Linwood. Deputies say they found this car engulfed in flames. No one was inside. They say the car was speeding down the drive when it veered off the road, struck two parked cars in a driveway, then flipped and came to a stop in a nearby yard. The sheriff's office says that they later found the driver. Tonight, they are booked into the Snohomish County Jail.
Mel Drop is here, and this was online. You got 1 million views. and you're telling me to put my leg up here because it will balance?
It's that easy.
Coursing? Yeah, it's easy. Oh, just go. Oh my god, 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 we're not good. We're not good! We are good! We're good! No one panic!
This is the life.
I'm not panicking!
This is the life.
Ah!
On a couch on the line.
I'm crying!
Beautiful Seattle.
This is so Seattle right now!
Yeah,
that was so fun!
Yeah.
Killed it. Good job. I'm crying.
He's gonna go.
That was so fun. I don't know how we didn't bottom out.
Redmond police need your help identifying 8 suspects connected to a series of car prowls. Police say overnight on May 6th, the group was caught on surveillance video inside 2 parking garages, entering vehicles and tampering with locks. You can see some of those photos there, and now we've just switched here to a map to give you a better idea of where these 2 garages are. They belong to 2 different apartment complexes just blocks away from each other. There's one on Tagore Avenue Northeast. The other is on 152nd Avenue Northeast. And police believe these incidents may be connected to even more car prowls reported that same night.
We look at that broader historical record. One of the things that's really remarkable is the connection between the amount of snowpack, the amount and duration of snowpack in the winter, and then what that means for the subsequent fire year. Suffice to say, this has been a fairly low snowpack year, which is part of the reason for concern that this might be a more active than normal fire year. From the early 1980s to the year 2000, there was one year that exceeded 6 million acres in total area burned in the US. And since the year 2000, in a 25-year period, there's now been 15 years that have exceeded 6 million acres.